So I was just out here doing a quick revisit of today's video before, publishing it or whatever. And I realized that the tone that I set for this video originally when I filmed it is not going to work. And so that's why you're getting me here right now doing this instead of, in the pontoon or in front of the whatever. I just had to do a quick film to change some things. And I will tell you why I'm changing all of those things in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 150 of 365 days of soap, and today we are finishing the Royalty Sisters line with Queen Elizabeth. And when I originally did this, I was kind of snarky in the beginning, and I made some joke about how I was afraid that the Queen was going to get sick, and then she got sick. And also throughout the video itself, I'm talking about like conspiracy theories. And she's actively sick right now. And so while I have opinions on Princess Diana and Meghan Markle and all the things, it's not the right tone to set for sure. And so instead of doing that for the end of the history series, we are going to just talk about different things in the life of this very extraordinary person who, none of us want to lose. It's going to be a sad day, and I'm going to cry along with the rest of the literal world when she does eventually pass, but we're just going to keep our fingers crossed that that's not the case and hope that she recovers from everything and all of the things. And so this video, a little bit different than the others because of that. So let's get to the video. You can check out the pour and all the things, there. Okay, so Queen Elizabeth II and a couple action items right off the bat. You may hear bang banging. I am recording the voiceover while soap apprentices are working. We are making bath bombs and it smells of rich, beautiful coffee in here right now as a result. And next thing, Queen Elizabeth. She is scented with, her bar that is, strawberries and leather. Now the reason for that is strawberries are her favorite fruit. So saith Reader's Digest. And leather, well, she's big into horse racing, isn't she? Like real big into it. Real big into it. I mean, she's also real big into corgis, but I wasn't going to make a soap smell like wet dog. So we're not going to do that. Now the design. It's going to be like Princess Margaret's design. Really. And it's going to have a 3-layer thing going on. But here's the thing. Queen Elizabeth's favorite color, is also blue. And I did Princess Margaret's bar blue. So the bottom is going to be blue. And in the middle, we're going to do 6 different bright colors because she wears so many awesome, bright clothes all of the time, right? It's freaking amazing. And it's, well, there's a reason for it. It's so she can be seen in the crowd. Like, that's the biggest reason. But that she's so, like, bold in her clothing decisions, it's one of those, yes, literal queen go off things. And that's cool. So that's the design process behind all of it. And that's, yeah, the thing. Now, on to Queen Elizabeth. We already know so much about Queen Elizabeth, right? While also knowing kind of nothing. It's a really weird, both statements are true. And so I'm not going to give you a big rundown on like who and what she is because we already know a ton of it. And so instead, we're going to talk about this cool, weird article that I found somewhere on the interweb that talks about some maybe less known facts while we are making Queen Elizabeth II's bar. Because we already know so much about her. We know that she's the longest reigning monarch to ever exist. We know she's married to like her cousin or something, but I mean, like, this is still royalty. They still do that a lot. Okay, and on to the pour. And as I said, 3 layers. Bottom is going blue, and the rest wild, crazy, crazy suns in the middle. And then I think white on top. I don't really remember what I did on top. Pretty sure it's white. And on to weird things about Queen Elizabeth II. The first thing that I mean, I guess we sort of knew, but I had never really thought about just how much. There are over 200 movies and television shows about Queen Elizabeth II, about the current queen. Over 200. That's just movies and TV. That is just movies, just television. That is not talking about the countless books that have been written about her. Like, it's shocking to me that a woman who is, almost 100 years old has that much entertainment value behind her, while we also kind of know not a lot of interesting things about her. And this is no shade on Queen Elizabeth, obviously, but I wonder if that's because she's just not an interesting person. You know? Like, she's a very good monarch. She has stayed alive for a very long time, which suggests she has been very healthy in all of the things that she has done in her life. So she hasn't had any real huge health problems that would be problematic and concerning. And so maybe she's just, I don't know. I guess it depends on what you define interesting as, really. I do know that she knows like a shit ton of languages, which is cool. And all of that was sort of self-taught. And so I find that interesting. So I guess there's an interesting bit about her. All of that was not self-taught. She obviously got tutors and did the things, but it was of her own desire to do this because when she became, the queen, she realized that perhaps her education was not where she really wanted it to be because her mom didn't really choose to educate her or Margaret. They had access to it, kind of chose not to take advantage of it, which sucks. But, she did that thing. And so she knows lots of languages. And that's cool. Another really weird thing about Queen Elizabeth II is she celebrates 2 birthdays. And I'm actually trying to figure out if this is just true of all monarchs, because in this article that I found, it said that this tradition was actually started by George II back in like the mid 1700s, because he was born in like the winter, and it's not good for celebrations. So he decided to, have birthday celebrations in the summer when, the weather's better. And so Queen Elizabeth was actually born on April 21st of 1926, but she celebrates her big birthday the second weekend in June, the second Saturday in June, which is close to my birthday. And so that's fun. But, I trying to figure out, does that mean that all monarchs have celebrated this 2 birthday thing since, King George II, or just the monarchs that were born in the fall and the winter time? Because if I was already a June baby, like I am, and I became queen, like I am not, and they were like, oh yeah, no, you just get the 1 birthday because you already have, I don't know, I might get a little diva-ish at that point and be like, yeah, but my mom got 2 birthdays, so I want 2 birthdays too. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, and don't have it in front of me to, or nor the time in this rather fast, quick video to, you know, look it up. But I found that really cool. Oh, another thing that was in this article that was cool is I had no idea, but there's this big diamond in her crown that's called the Koh-i-Noor diamond, which means light of the world in Persian. And it's 108 carats first, but second, the people of India are actually really, it's a pretty contentious subject, this particular diamond, because, you know, British colonists stole it. And so that's kind of gross, you know? Like, that's just hanging out the Tower of London with all the Queen's beautiful jewelry. Did you know there's a person who's just like, their whole job is just hang out with the Queen's jewels? That's amazing to me. And they like take such great pride in it. I remember watching this documentary thing on that, and it was delightful, as all British documentaries are, or all British television, really, just in general, all programming that comes from Britain. It's so nice. It's like Great British Bake Off. It's a competition, but everybody's so polite and nice. The judges are nice, and it's lovely. It's so much better than American TV, where we live for, well, I mean, ironically, I guess, most often British critics being really mean. Like Simon Cowell and that Hell's Kitchen guy. What's his name? Somebody will tell me in the comments. We like it when Brits are mean to Americans, I suppose, but I love British television because people are just polite, and I enjoy that a lot because polite is good. But yeah, in this thing, they were saying that it's somebody's whole job to just hang out with the Queen's jewels and be responsible for all of it and cataloging it and making sure that they don't get stolen and stuff, along with very real security measures, obviously, like the biggest and the best probably in the literal world. And they take just such great pride in it. And sometimes these positions are passed down between the families, and that's kind of cool. You know, I don't know. I found that very fascinating. Also, in that same, I guess it was a documentary about like the Tower of London itself or something. Because then they also talked about the mechanisms of the bridge. And this obviously has nothing to do with Elizabeth II, but the actual mechanics of the bridge, they like date back to literally Queen Victoria, like to raise and lower the bridge. Did you know that? I didn't know that. That was terrifying when I heard that. Like, wow, that's a whole thing. But bridges scare me anyway. I don't understand bridges. I came from a landlocked state. I especially I don't understand suspension bridges at all. Have to drive over one of those things every day, but I really don't understand the ones that raise and lower in the middle. Are those called drawbridges? Those bridges freak me out. And so those mechanics, again, that's Queen Victoria, and I didn't do Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria in and of herself, that is a fascinating whole ass series, because like all of her kids, well, herself, she was a character, and I don't know that I mean that in an endearing way. I don't know that I'm necessarily talking about Queen Elizabeth in quite an endearing way either. I don't know. I think I am. Maybe. I don't know. But I've watched enough things about the goings on of, you know, the royal house or whatever to think, you know, I don't know. I think this lady was pretty mean to a lot of people. Like Princess Diana is one that comes to mind most immediately. But then also I see Claire Foy portray her as, you know, on the crown, and I'm like, oh no, you're delightful. You're really, really nice and sweet and such a lovely person. So I don't exactly know where I stand with this existing monarch. Okay, and on to the cuts. Now this, of course, has been C-popped and gelled because lots of bright, beautiful colors and all of it. Let's cut into this baby and see how wild and ostentatious this bar is. I'm actually super excited for it. But while we're talking about other random Queen Elizabeth facts or whatever, did you know that she owns... Oh, look at that. That's weird and cool. Oh my God. Okay. Look, I think that's perfect for Queen Elizabeth II. It's like all of her dresses, all of her weird, weird dresses in one bar of soap. I'm in love with that. But yeah, did you know that she owns apparently all of the swans and ducks and whales and dolphins in UK waters? Like, she owns them. There's some sort of weird old, statute from the 1300s that says, quote, also the king shall have whales and sturgeons taken in the sea or elsewhere within the realm. And it still holds valid. But the reason for like um the swans and the ducks and things is because I don't actually know. Why does it say? Mute swans in the country because the birds were highly valued as a delicacy at banquets and feasts? Are you kidding me? Do people eat swan? Do royal people just sit around eating freaking swans? I read The Trumpet of the Swan with my girls a couple months ago. Well, I mean, they read it to me and it was awesome. But, it's part of our daily reading. And that just makes me sad because that swan, remember that swan? He was so cool. He was a mute swan. And he learned how to communicate. It was a good book. Do you guys remember that book? Whatever. I'm big shooketh by that. That's really strange. The scent within this bar, by the way, really, really cool. So if you're looking for a play on leather and you don't want it to be over leathery, strawberry and leather freaking worked. That was cool. Oh, also, I was going to scent this bar with leather and champagne because apparently the queen has a glass of champagne every night. Just one glass. And I thought, well, that's fancy. But also it's a little bit, too on the nose for this. And we've already made too many of these bars smell like some form of booze. So I didn't want to do it. I did strawberries. Strawberries go inside champagne when you're super fancy or something, right? So that all works. But yeah, the also with this that I saw, I'm sorry, I'm just all over the place with these weird factoids. The queen has only made 5 official visits to the United States in like the 70 years she's been queen. Just 5. 5 official visits. Last time she came was in 2007. Isn't that wild? I mean, I don't blame her. There's so many other cool places you can go in the world. Why come to the United States? But I mean, not that we're not cool over here too, but whatever. I found that very interesting considering like at least every 4 years, a president goes to see the queen and, we go to the UK all the time, our government officials, for a myriad of reasons. And the queen herself, she's like, nope, just 5 times in her whole reign. Speaking of reign, the sister sets are done, guys. We've got Mary and Anne Boleyn. We've got Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth I. We've got Queen Elizabeth II and Princess Margaret. And they're all super cute and wild and fun. And I like how they sort of changed in coloring and whatnot, sort of as the thing progressed. And so now we have more bright, clean colors because we're living in a Technicolor world. That's all done, you guys. Day 150. And there it is, the Queen Elizabeth II bar. And I think it's absolutely stunning. All of the big, beautiful colors that she wears, totally reflected within the bar itself. And it's vibrant and it's gorgeous and it smells of leather and it's very cool. And I think it's very fitting for this. And ultimately, while again, this setup is wildly different than how you usually see me, I wasn't going to let that exist out there. Again, we are all going to hope for Queen Elizabeth's speedy recovery and that she is able to continue being her badass self and all of the things. And so had to re-record because I'm not trying to throw any sort of weird energy out into the world. And wouldn't you know it, the second that I thought it might be fun, she got sick. And that sucks. So there it is. This bar means the end of the series. And that means all of these bars are at soapandclay.com right now. So if you're interested in any of these ones, the Mary Boleyn, the Anne Boleyn, the Queen Mary, the Queen Elizabeth I, the Princess Margaret, or the Queen Elizabeth II bars, go over to soapandclay.com, pick them up. There's a coupon code below that is good for just today. Also tomorrow. It's good for 2 days. So you can get them all at a discount. That would be awesome. If you're interested in seeing, what else we do, or joining us for the live tomorrow or whatever, subscribe, do the things. I am out of here because actually I have to go turn all of this into an owl so I can take the Soap and Clay Kidlets trunk or treating this evening, and we're all going as characters from Animal Crossing, and I'm going as Blathers, which makes all the sense in the world because I blather. So I appreciate you guys having joined me for another round of 365 days of soap. I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye.